But good morning, Strokes of Survivor community. Welcome to Stroke of Genius podcast, Survivor Experience. I'm doing kind of a special. I have no idea if this is a multi series or what, but it's on where your focus goes, your energy flows. I'm going to share with you today a stroke survivor strategy I learned very early on in my stroke survival. And the key is where your focus goes. So let's get into it.
The Stroke of Genius podcast, hosted by brain aneurysm and stroke survivor Aaron Avila, sharing the experiences of survivors and CEOs. This is your destination for inspiration.
So once again, welcome to Stroke of Genius podcast, Survivor Experience. You know, today's this may end up being multi podcasts. Be if it's serious I do. I won't stop until I feel I've told you all I've learned in my 12 years as a stroke survivor. And then want to encourage you, if you're out there in the audience, if you put a comment in the chat, I can bring it up on screen and I can actually share your comment with the audience. So please feel free. Chrissy Mathis is out there. Thank you, Chrissy, for being there. Sheriff Patterson is there. Great. Thank you for being out there. We got Keith Rush. Thank you for being out there, bro. It's really blessed me to have you out there. Thank you for your support. You know, really, what I learned early on in my stroke, and I mean early on from the days laid in bed, paralyzed, I first got up to the hospital, that I believe, and I learned that day, and learned to this day, 12 years later, that you, stroke survivor, can learn to live a fulfilled life after stroke. Yep, I said it. You can learn it. I believe that if I can do it, any of you survivors can do it. And the key is where your focus is. The key is what you're focusing on in your life. If I had to guess, let me back up. I want to tell you a little bit of story. I learned this essential stroke survivor skill from a person you would never, ever think would teach you a stroke survivor how to find life after stroke. That man was global business celebrity Jeffrey Hazlett. Jeffrey Hazlett taught me to focus different, which ended up changing the total trajectory of my life after stroke. And with that, I'll be forever grateful. But I can remember, as with most of you, I had a brain aneurysm first that for sure was supposed to kill me. And then I had a stroke 2 weeks later while I was in a coma. As with all of us, I sent us home, not really able, not equipping our caregivers, our wife or spouse, our husband, whatever. So another family member, friend, whatever. They never really prepare the person to care for stroke survivor, what to expect. But you know, I can remember I can remember getting up to the hospital, laying in the bed, half paralyzed, half affected, I should say, I'm not paralyzed, but half affected, unable to move half my body, unable to speak very well. And was bringing up like a baby. And I began to focus on all that happened to me. This spiraled me down a very dark place. Very dark. In fact, I became suicidal. I could remember I would lay there, half affected in my bed, half paralyzed, unable to speak, unable to do anything to wearing a diaper. And I remember thinking in my head, how am I going to get my half paralyzed carcass into the wheelchair next to my bed, up a ramp, into my closet, grab my 40 Smith & Wesson. Because I was going to end it all. I saw no hope. No way to cope with what has happened to me. As with you all, I knew everybody, even this day, there are many survivors that wrestle with darkness. They wrestle with finding value and purpose in life. But I am here to tell you this morning in this first introductory segment, it is where our focus is. You see, I became suicidal because I focused on what I couldn't do. I couldn't move. I couldn't talk. I couldn't walk. My life was over. I had no way to live because I based my entire life on what I could do physically. But I'm here to tell you there's a whole different avenue, a whole different side to your stroke that you do not know. I am telling you that if you change your focus, you focus on what you can do, not what you can't do. It will change your trajectory. Yeah, if you love your stroke survivor love. Just as them in mind. So back to my story. So I was sitting there laying in bed, suicidal, like I said, and contemplating how to commit suicide because I felt my life was over. But then I turned on a video, YouTube, and I began to listen to a man named Jeffrey Hazelot. He was a global business celebrity, had nothing to do with stroke, but he had everything to do with stroke. He just didn't know it because he began to say in this video that success was attitude. Success was in your mind. That you could be successful if you get your mind right, if you get your focus right. Jeff just published a book called Think Big and Act Bigger. You see, so many times we stroke survivors, we get tunnel vision. We begin to focus on our life. It's always going to be this way. That's not true. See, you just need to shift your attitude. So Jeff began to stay in this video I was watching. He just published his book, Think Big, Act Bigger. But he began to see that attitude is everything. Attitude will bring you the true success in life. And I began to listen to the video that Jeff had made. And I realized he didn't say at any point in the presentation, in his keynote, that this attitude, this way of thinking doesn't apply to stroke survivors. So I said, you know what? I'm going to apply his principles to my stroke. So going with the topic of today's show, change, where your focus goes, your energy flows. He began to shift my focus away from focusing on my plight, focusing on what I can do. And I began to focus on what possibilities, hope, I felt hope for the first time since I had my stroke. So what I want to help you in this introductory, I'm going to say that because I'm thinking I might do this again, maybe 3 or 4 segments. But you, stroke survivor, who is stuck in darkness, who is stuck feeling like there's no hope, the answer is shift your focus. Shift what you're looking at. Your Dwayne Dyer, amazing spiritual teachers taught me. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. Let me repeat that because I really need you to hear it. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. See, you have the power in your mind. If you change the way you look at things, your stroke, you will change it physically in the physical realm. See, I'm probably like no other stroke survivor. For me, I was given this near-death experience, a change of a life, wanted by brain aneurysm and stroke. So I've done a spiritual journey, and it's made me realize the spiritual side of stroke. That I believe that in your mind, stroke survivor, if you can shift what you're focusing on, all I'm saying is don't focus on I can't move right, I can't walk right, I can't drive, I can't. That's how you focus on. That will bring energy to you that's hopeless, that is uninspired, that really has no hope for the future. But watch this. Now flip it and change your focus. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful I get to see my spouse, my significant other. I'm grateful I get to hear the birds singing. I'm grateful I get to feel the warm sun on my face. Now, notice I just shifted the focus. What happens? You then get inspired you then have hope. You then start going, man, it's really great to hear the birds singing. I didn't die. I am thankful to be alive. You then begin to shift and alter the way you see the current situation. So I challenge you on this day, shift your way of thinking. I'm here to tell you that I am living the most fulfilled life I've ever lived. The most fulfilled life I've ever lived. Absolutely. Oh, there's Jocelyn. Hey, Jocelyn. What's up, Jocelyn? There's my sister, Jocelyn. Jocelyn is a TBI survivor. And and we got Jocelyn now there. We got Sherry Patterson. Thank you. Got Chrissy Matthews. Thank you. Thank you for the support, you guys. Jocelyn being a TBI survivor reminds me to remind you. Yeah, I just say stroke, but really, the principle I'm teaching about your focus applies to any brain injury, any type of brain injury. In fact, it applies to any type of life trauma, anything you're going through in life. And I'm going to repeat Dwayne Dyer one more time. I'm going to repeat Dwayne Dyer one more time, because this is the key to your happiness, stroke survivor, brain injury survivor, Jocelyn, whoever. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. meaning you were not helpless in your destiny, in building your destiny, building the hope. You are actually in control of your future. How are you in control of your future, survivor? How? You control it by the way you think. You control it with your mind. See, part of the reason that I created the Stroke TV media, I created my movement, is because when I first had my stroke, as I just got through telling you, I was hopeless. I was battling big time in my mind. But I started to realize that most stroke support groups were focused on the physical rehabilitation, as if that is what gives you value. That was, and I don't believe it. I didn't believe it because I think be valuable in their mind. I think the real key to success after brain injury is in your mind. Like Jonathan just said, life is what you make it. Life is what you make it. Now, that right there was a prime example attitude, focus. She's focusing on life as possible. There is a possibility of life after a brain injury. And if there's one thing, only because we only got a short time together, and I'll try to do this anytime I don't get scheduled, I'll do this. I'll do a series, but it's really, really okay. Hold on, critical. Christy Matthews says, "For sure, life is what you make it." So we have basically an amen coming for Christy Matthews. She agrees because so many times I met strokes of our stuck in darkness, stuck in place, stuck because they had no hope. No, why? Why do they have no hope? And why do I say I am living the most fulfilled life ever? It's because I've changed my focus. I'm no longer focusing on my life as a victim. I'm no longer focused on what I can't do, limitations. Heck, I've been in wheelchair 12 years. I'm half paralyzed. Or half affected. I should use the word paralyzed. Half affected. I speak funny. But man, like I told you earlier, I'm living the most fulfilled life I've ever lived. And you can too. All you need to do is shift your focus, change your focus. Don't quit focus. Let me tell you, I want to tell you why I fixed heat stroke. Something I've learned about stroke. It's like driving a car. When you're driving a car, there is a tiny rearview mirror and there's a huge windshield in front of it that you'll look to and drive. Now, what if you shifted your focus from the main windshield? And that's what I see most stroke survivors do. They shift their main focus from the big windshield and shift the focus to the rearview mirror. So always looking back. I used to do this. I used to do that. I used to back. They're constantly looking back. They're focused on the rearview mirror of their life. But what they're not realizing, and this is not, I'm not saying it's easy. I've been doing this for 12 years and it's still a battle, a daily battle. So no, please don't take this as just super easy. It's not. It's a decision you make to shift your focus. So I'm saying don't focus on the rearview mirror of your life, but focus on the big windshield, the future, the forward. Believe with hope that there is life after brain injury. Because what will happen when you take your focus off the little tiny rearview mirror? Not only will you not crash the car, but you begin to look at the front windshield of your life. That if you shift your focus, you will then begin to see your place to go. There is hope. But it really comes down to mindset. See, I'm not a big believer that your happiness of fulfillment is found in the beginning of your physical abilities. Although that will come as you work hard, you will regain physical abilities. And did do last night was a meeting with Keith Taylor, and he had on his show yesterday the CEO of Sabo. Sabo is the one that does a lot of high-end, high-tech stroke rehabilitation equipment. But I personally spoke with the CEO, and I'm going to tell you his name right now because beneath is a heat jazz viavi. So his name is Pete Duran. And Pete Duran is a new CEO of Sabo. Wait till you hear about the app they're developing. I'll tell you about that. I'm going to try to have a meeting with them and have them on the show sometime soon. But he began to speak of hope. He began to speak of new life. See, so many times, stroke, I want you to picture brain injury, stroke, as a dark beast. A dark puffy cloud, lightning bolts coming from its eyes and mouth. It looks real intimidating. In fact, stroke survival intimidates most. But don't focus on it. Don't focus on the dark of stroke. I want you to go out today, outside, take a deep breath, focus on that bird singing. Focus on the warmth of the air. Focus on fall smells. Shift your focus today. Again, this has been kind of an introductory. I think I really want to get a series going in this. And I want to present it because I think it really is pertinent to what we're going through as survivors. That if you find yourself stuck, that you're just winded to die, basically. I'm saying you can find life after stroke. And the way to do it is stop focusing on the wrong thing. Stop focusing on what you can't do and focus on those things you're grateful for and what you can do. I can't move my hand. Oh, but I can twitch one finger. So either I focus on I can move my hand or I focus I can twitch one finger. So if I say I can move my hand, I begin to focus on negative energy. I can't. But now shift my focus to I can twitch my finger. I begin to get filled with hope. Because if I can twitch my finger, which I can, that means I can eventually twitch all my fingers. That means that eventually I can move my arm. That means I can eventually go from wheelchair to walker. And from walker, maybe driving someday. So today I want you to take a minute. Evaluate what it is you think about all the time you have. What is rolling around in your mind all the time? Is it negative energy? Is it negative focus? Is it focusing on how hard your life is? How everything is hard? No. I'm just saying this morning to shift your focus. It will be transformational. Transformational, really. When I had Jeff Hazlett begin to tell me, hey, you could be successful if your attitude's right. I go, but wait a minute, I'm half paralyzed, been a wheelchair, don't speak right. I can change my attitude. That's one thing I do have control over. See, you and we have control over our minds. Do not confuse the mind with the brain. They're two different things. The mind is who you are. Your brain is like the processor that processes all the information. So many times that people talk about the brain as if it's a mind. It's not. There are two different things. So I'm saying challenging you today to change your mind, to shift your focus. And I promise you. Oh, by the way, I will put in the notes section of the YouTube video of how to schedule a video chat with me, a private, confidential video chat. So if you need someone to talk to, fill it out, schedule an appointment with me. I do it free. Obviously, I don't charge anything. I do it with love. So feel free. I'll put in the YouTube video description of how you can. Because if you need someone to talk to, I'm here. I want to also encourage each and every one of you to please subscribe to Stroke TV Media on YouTube. Really important. Because when the more people that subscribe, the more people that comment on videos, the more people that share videos, the more YouTube promotes our movement, the more we become impactful. I want to see Stroke TV Media impact the globe, stroke survivors around the world. My vision is to have Stroke TV Media become the hub of the world around. So any brain injury person, in fact, any person going through trials of life, but really focusing on stroke survival, obviously, can go to Stroke TV Media and watch some sort of content that will help them in their survival. So I want to encourage you. I'll let you know by doing another follow-up on this same topic because I think it's extremely critical for all survivors around the world to focus, to understand the way you focus, what you think about all the time, causes that type of energy to flow into your life. So if you focus on the negative, that energy will flow into your life, negative energy. But if you focus on the positive, the possibilities begin to fill your heart. How many of you are going to use hope, love, and feel valued as a survivor? Most all of us can do it. Well, we're down this goes by so quick. But again, if you put a comment within the section, I will get back to you personally. But I want to thank each and every one of you for coming. Thank you very much. I think it's so important. We together, we're strong. And I just want to thank you for your support. All right, bye. Keep on, keep it on. Remember, you can never fail if you don't stop trying. Set me on fire.